So welcome back to another EV Brief Quick Take. I've just picked up Hyundai's Kona Electric from Hyundai Australia in the middle of a lockdown, so we're not going to be able to do the sorts of range tests and things that we wanted to do because primarily we're kind of locked into our state here. But nevertheless, we're going to have a great time with this car, and I'm really liking it so far already just from the very short drive home. Firstly, the styling. It is based on the same platform as the Kia Niro, but it's got a lot more of a sporty, compact crossover look to the Niro. Niro is a lot more traditional, and I'm really digging this front end. It's clean, it's smooth. They haven't gone for that kind of faux grille look of the previous Kona. This facelift, which came out earlier in 2021, has a really nice crease through the front end below the Hyundai badge there. Those slits of LEDs, the main beam headlights lower down, and a little bit of fake aluminium at the bottom. All in all, it's a really nice looking design. And this colour is known as Dive-In Jeju Blue, named after the Korean holiday island. It's certainly a vibrant colour when paired with the alloy wheels and the black roof. Really pops. Moving around to the side, this colour does hide a few of the creases in the bodywork, but you can see it's a car with really short overhangs, pretty good size wheel to body ratio, and quite a small glass area. The doors are quite high. Now it's riding on Michelin Primacy 4 low rolling resistance tyres, 215/55 17-inch. And these are primarily responsible for the bump in range over the 2020 model. I think it's up to about 470, 480 kilometres range WLTP now. So, you know, real world, easily 400 Ks with this car. Coming around the back, and it's a clean design. Again, thin angular taillights, no LED light strip as is the trend of the day on a lot of other brands, but it's not too bad looking. Those lower light clusters kind of mimic the front. I actually think it makes it look like, it's not sure whether this is the back or the front, but you know, each to their own. On the whole, it's a pretty good design. The 3/4 angles are kind of the nicest of the car, I think. The rear one has this kind of haunched forward look, and let's go to the front one. I think this low front 3/4 view is probably the most successful. It just looks mean and compact and sporty. Zoom out a bit so you can see. Just zoom in a little. Make sure we don't get run over by a self-charging Toyota Lexus thing. Now this Kona is the Highlander model. This is the top spec one, so you have the option of this lighter leather. You've got electric seat as standard, which is not there on the base model. I like the interior of this. The high kind of central tunnel gives it quite a cockpit feel, so you feel quite ensconced as a driver, which is nice. You've got these turbine air vents, which you see on things like Mercedes and Alphas these days, which are quite nice. And then you've got a very chunky 3-spoke steering wheel, digital dash cluster, and a heads-up display, which we'll go into in a second. Now new for 2021, you've got a digital LCD up here, which is quite nice for the driver. Really customizable. You've got red for sport mode. You've got all the information on the battery system and the speed and things up here, as well as range. I actually prefer it to the Hyundai system. It just seems a little bit cleaner, even though it's mimicking analog gauges. Now one thing that's less great is the steering wheel. There's a lot of buttons. The cruise control takes some real studying to actually work out which buttons do what. And then you've got the stalks on the back here again, carryover from old school cars where absolutely everything is loaded onto these 2 stalks. Down here you've got control for the head-up display, parking sensors, instrument cluster lighting, automatic charge timing and traction control. Down here, the usual window mirror controls for driver, folding button is standard. Speakers built into the door. The cabin plastics are pretty good. These bits up here, a little bit hard and scratchy, but you've got a nice soft part in the middle, a nice soft armrest, and Harman Kardon sound system. Now the seats look fabulous and they are pretty comfortable, and they support you well through the corners. There's this really nice colour with dark blue stitching around the outside. I think it is a synthetic leather, it does feel like it, but it does show a bit of wear here from this press car having covered 7,000 kilometres. Hopefully, like the Tesla, it is pretty easy to clean. So yeah, here's a view from the back now. You've got the central display here, air vents, start-stop button beside the steering wheel, HVAC controls and gear selector, and then these buttons down here for heated seats and other car functions. Again, from the passenger side, a very comfortable place to be. It is a bit of a button fest. You've got a push button control for the gear selector. You've got buttons down here on the console for heated seats and cooled seats, which are standard as part of the Highlander package. And you've got this touch screen which sits atop the dash here, along with Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, which is standard across the range. Now this doesn't purport to be a large car, but that's my driving position there, so it's not a huge amount of space for rear seat passengers, and you do have a slightly higher floor due to the battery pack location. But and look, probably not much hope of fitting a person in the middle there, but if you've got 2 adults or 2 children, it's probably a pretty comfortable place to be for a short ride. Moving out of the back, it's a 332 litre boot, so not massive, but on par with sort of smaller hatchbacks. Expandable to about 1114 litres with the seats down. It is quite a high lip due to the design of the car and the battery underneath. Under here you've got charging cables and things like that. And that's it for our quick take on this Kona Electric 2021 model. We'll be bringing you more content as we live with it and drive it for the week. Bye for now.